Warm welcome to everyone for the next, again, the webinar series. Good morning to all of you. My name is Ahamadali, and I'm the product manager for Sangfor Cybersecurity. And today's discussion would be about the biggest challenges, the organization face in 2026. Not just about, the cyber attacks, but also about the operational security as well as the efficiency. So during this session, I would be showcasing what traditional security operations are struggling, what modern cybersecurity, or the modern SecOps we say really means, and how AI together with the Sangfor XDR as well as MDR can simplify the cybersecurity. With this, we will also have a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, we can also discuss that part. So let's begin. So, very first thing, AI and the cybersecurity trends, that has been defining the 2026. So, before we talk about solution, let's understand what are the changes in the 2026. So, cybersecurity today is again completely different from last, or you can say, the 2 years ago. AI is now helping both defenders as well as the attackers. The phishing emails are now no longer, easy to spot, as well as the personalized writing with the AI is again a big challenge. Ransomware, again, we have seen it has been double or triple the explosions. SOC teams are again increasingly relying on the AI assistance. So if you talk about some of the different brands, you have been working with, you might be seeing that, most of them are now focusing towards use of the AI as a proactive defense. With that, the business are also adopting AI agents, automated operations, and then creating the new attack surface. So finally, what exactly, the cyber risk is again the no longer about the IT, it's all about business issue. That is something the biggest challenge, and this is why organization must rethink when they consider security operations. Okay, so this is all about the AI transforming in 2026. Let's see the cyber attacks, which are evolving faster than ever. So let me ask you a questions like how many, security tool does an organization use today, or how many they need it, from the traditional security, talking about the small mid segment, when you have firewalls, you have EDR, email security, and some of the other tools for the data protection, identity management. Well, we can say that 40 or 70 different security products. Now the question is, are these tools generating alerts? As every alerts are being investigated, as every investigation consumes the analyst time. Now the answer is, in UAE most of the customers comes from the small mid segment. They don't have a dedicated person to do that job, as well as whatever alerts are again coming up with these different security products, that is becoming a biggest challenge for them to go down to see what exactly is going on. So problem is that none of these tools actually work together from the traditional security. So what could be the transaction? So more security tools does not automatically means the better security. It is actually means overloading your business objectives with different formats of the products at the different level. So this becomes a huge challenge, when you talk about the security analyst, or when you talk about the person who is sitting to manage different security products. They cannot, visualize all of this in one single platform, or manually if they try to go through each and every alerts, that becomes the biggest challenge. And that is the reason why traditional SOC is failing. Okay, so imagine you're, just an example, you're driving a car with 20 different dashboards. One shows speed, another shows fuel, another shows the, let's say, engine temperature, navigations, and so on. Now, none of them, if they communicate with each other, this is how, the many SOC operates today, and that becomes the biggest challenge. So analysts spend more time switching between the consoles and then responding to attacks. The alert fatigue the skill shortage, slow investigation makes the traditional SOC unsustainable. That means the meantime detection and the meantime response is the actual impacting the businesses. Now, what is the modern SecOps? This is one of the very important slide. Okay, so understanding from the scratch, from the customer's perspective right now, the modern SecOps is just no longer about SIM. There are multiple things which involves from the platforms or from the fundamentals to the identities or data, or talking about the security services, that is the incident management, incident response, to have a platform where you can do SIM, SOC and SOAR all together. Okay, so that is the combination of different layers that comes together. From the Sangfor coverage, what exactly we do cover? So we cover almost every part. So Sangfor advantage is that we not only, protect one part of the infrastructure where we cover firewalls, endpoint, network detection, or cloud identity, but also we try to powered with the help of our security GPT or our Gen AI for MDR services, as well as for our AI powered XDR platform. That means all of these products can be integrated directly to our AI powered XDR, and the MDR can manage this platform directly to provide you the complete visibility of the platform. Let's see the Sangfor security vision. Now, from the Sangfor security vision, every successful cybersecurity strategies relies on three things: the people, the process, and the technology. Now, the technology itself is, not enough. You need to have the skilled analyst, as well as you need to have well-defined process. And now, as AI is becoming the fourth accelerator, to cover up the people, process, and the technology, it becomes very important that how we can manage to integrate from the data center to headquarters to branch offices all together with the zero trust, which we have seen in the previous slide. So we have the Athena SASE, which also helps to monitor the users or remote workforce which are trying to access the application, whether it is a on-prem or SaaS base. So sorry, on-prem or SaaS base, and with that, it also managed to do the complete monitoring with the help of our threat intel platform, Engine Zero, and the security GPT. So all of these correlations, as well as the detections which are happening, whether it is in cloud, it is in your data center, on-premise applications, or if it is your HQ or branch offices with remote users, all together can be integrated to our SaaS XDR, which is our AI SecOps, and with that it can be monitored with the MDR. So this is like a complete security vision which customer can cover up from the Sangfor aspect. All right, let's see what exactly is the Sangfor modern SecOps, the challenges which we have been seeing. What exactly is the Sangfor modern SecOps? So thinking of this platform as a brain of the security operations, this Sangfor modern SecOps cover up three important aspects. So all the Sangfor security products continuously feed the telemetries to our Athena XDR. With that, we also have the security GPT, which act as a AI assistant. Upon that, we also have the MDR 24/7 human expertise. So together, they create a complete security ecosystem instead of the disconnected products. Now, the question would be, do we need to replace our existing security? Maybe if it's a firewall or it's an EDR, the answer is no. We can still do the integration with the existing security products back to the platform. We'll be seeing that in next few slides. Let me just showcase you one by one what exactly the platform looks like. So we'll first start with the Athena XDR, that is our centralized platform. Okay. So from the Athena XDR collects the information from every security source. That means to normalize the data, to correlate the event, as well as to prioritize the incident or performing threat hunting, generating reports, orchestration. This is like a huge platform doing multiple activities. So from endpoint, from network, cloud, email, any other third party, or let's say if customer just want to integrate the core switch traffic, you know, whether they have Cisco, they have HP, Alcatel or any particular switches, and they want to also feed it as a SIM, they can still do that from the platform. So that is what the super AI brain is capable enough of doing it. So if a customer is having the requirement, where they want to create a platform to centralize all the alerts, that is what the Athena super AI brain is helping to do it. With this, from the open XDR platform, when we talk about all-in-one design, so there could be one question, that how exactly the engine works or how I can do the integrations from my third parties. So Sangfor is not only integrating its native products, maybe Sangfor Firewall, Sangfor EDR, or network detection and response, but also third parties with the help of Syslog, RESTful API, Kafka, and JDBC. We try to integrate all of this to a detection platform, okay, where we try to manage with our own threat intel, with the customized rules, and give you a very simple graphic visibility. So Athena XDR integrates both the things. So it integrates Sangfor products, third-party platform, from the endpoint to email security to cloud, as well as managing the central gain visibility where you can view what is the asset scene, what exactly the baselines of these assets are. You can manage to do the vulnerabilities, management. You can also do the incident correlation. So the important aspect is don't go through the alerts, but correlate these alerts from network to endpoint and create those incidents and give you a complete attack surface or attack story, where you can easily manage to understand, the actual root cause. With this, you can also manage to, if the customer has their own SOC team, they can manage to, use the platform automatically focusing on the important incidents. Or if customer don't have the security analyst team, there is always Sangfor MDR, which is bundled with our XDR platform to protect against the incident. So we manage the complete incident as well as we do the incident response. And with that, we also provide the threat identification analysis and the risk assessment. So that is also included from the MDR prospect. So this is like, a complete design of the SOC where we do the entire integration. Coming down to one of the strongest slide, actually, the question is that how it does it. Usually when you talk about most of the traditional SOC, what exactly is lacking and how Sangfor, try to fulfill that particular gap. So the traditional SOC generates thousands of alerts. Definitely, these alerts are again, very difficult to manage. The correlation definitely it can be done, but from the response perspective also there is a limitations. They can do the detections, they can report it, but talking about the response, that is again a huge challenge. From the Athena, we try to correlate not only from the native products or platforms which comes with the Athena XDR, we're talking about Athena EPP or EPP Lite if customer already having products like Trend Micro, CloudStrike, or any other solutions. With that, we also try to integrate the network telemetries as well. And all of these telemetries, the threat detection investigation run down at the platform, we can also manage to do the response. So converting the alerts to incident, or the you can say a meaningful incident, instead of asking, the analyst to investigate 500 alerts, he just have to focus on the actual incident, and this is the important parameters to reduce the noises. Now, to ensure the faster response or the better accuracy, we try to integrate with some of the native products. So if customer has firewall from Sangfor or EDR, we can actually do automated response from the SOAR. But if they have third party, we can still manage to create the playbooks. We can manage to create the run books for our third party. So mostly for the top products like Palo Alto, top products like Checkpoint or Fortinet firewall, we can do the complete integration for the network security. And from the endpoint prospect, we have already done, some of the cases where we have integrated with CloudStrike, Sentinel-1, and Palo Alto Cortex. So these integrations are again very much possible directly to our SOC platform. Okay, so this is from the complete architecture perspective, how the modern SecOps, fulfills the requirement from the traditional SOC, which tries to, cannot fill the gaps. Now let's see, the precise definitions of these simplified investigations. So from the platforms, where you have the audit logs or the security alerts converting to incident, or to identify the root cause analysis. So we have multiple engines, Athena automatically reconstructs the attack chains. It also helps to analyze, the gaps. It does not take like an hours, but in the minutes it will try to convert all of these alerts into the incidents and then give you the actual root cause identification. So identifying the malicious activity or what could be the impact, all of these informational things can be automatically generated from the security GPT, which is our AI. So as you see, AI is again a very important tool, not only to simplify, but also to ensure that the response is much faster. So increasing of the accuracies. With that, the simplified investigation, here you can see, once the incident is detected, Athena automatically reconstructs the attack chain, as well as the analyst don't have to spend too much time. He can view all of these. He can go through the informational things as well as identifying the root cause. With this, in terms of the smarter response, detection alone does not, stop the attack. So once you detect something, you need to respond to that part. The whole idea of having the SOC platform, relies on the response more, and that's where the Sangfor SOAR can automatically isolate the endpoints, block the malicious IP, quarantine the files, disable, the compromised accounts, also launch the playbooks within the seconds. So the predefined playbooks can be used, or the platform itself can provide you what action you should be taking during this particular incident. Whether you want to block the IP or you want to create a playbook for integration of Fortinet, you can select that and fill those things, and automatically when the same similar attack comes again, the SOAR already have the run book filled with the response. So that becomes pretty easy for you to do that in case if you don't have, MDR services from the Sangfor side. Okay, so that is the power of the security GPT, or we can say our OGPT, operational GPT, to do the response part. Now let's see one of the important aspect of the security GPT, which is our operational. So imagine, you are on a SOC platform, and you want to see, what happened yesterday, or you want to summarize some ransomware activity. What should I do next? Instead of just searching on the dashboards, security GPT answers all in a very simple language. It gives you the alert correlation, it gives you what is the asset situation, the topology, logically what exactly has gone wrong, and with that it has also given you the response aspect. Now this is like a real scenario, what exactly should be doing during the SOC operation. So it is like having a senior SOC analyst available for you 24 by 7. So if you are not aware, or if you are don't have the expertise to run down through different platforms to do that manually, operational GPT can be doing that for you automatically in minutes. So the hours which have been spent down by different SOC analysts, we try to converge that with the help of our AI security GPT into minutes to provide you the complete results. So from the capability of Gen AI, Sangfor Security GPT, we have three important GPT aspects. So detection GPT, finding the unknown attacks. Anti-phishing, again, detects the AI generated phishing emails. Now don't consider this as a email security. It is only specifically designed for the phishing emails. One of the things from the email aspect, what we understand, it is not just about blocking the spam, or it is not just about detecting the malwares, within the emails, but anti-phishing, because most of the AI based anti-phishing is written down automatically by, you know the platform itself, so which is used by the AI. So AI don't have to, run down, and these platforms, we cannot be detected, by the traditional security signature sets. It easily bypasses. So to fight with AI, we need AI. That is where the Sangfor security GPT has introduced the detections of the AI generated phishing mails. And with that, the SOC analyst, which is our conversational AI, which again simplifies, the difficult logs, and then give you the actual results of what happened, what exactly is the block hole, what exactly, the summary of the entire root cause can be identified directly from here. So this is A very important tool, the modern SecOps needed. And from the Sangfor aspect, we have done that from the security GPT. Talking about the MDR, now technology detects the attacks definitely, but experts have to stop it, and that's where we need to ensure that Sangfor MDR, with the combination of AI automations and the experienced security analyst, comes together to ensure that we not just respond to it, but identify the root cause and the lesson learned, which is a very important aspect. So from the traditional security or prevention detection to a traditional SOC, we just do the detection parts from the relate correlating of the alerts. When you have the expert people sitting down, and using the platform, this becomes the important aspect. So we try to ensure that the detections of true positives, false positives, to ensure that customer only focus on actual alerts and the reports, and it can cover up complete 24 by 7. That means for any particular incident, this Sangfor MDR team can help you to ensure that we cover up complete 24 by 7. So from the security operational, the result aspect of reporting, or maybe monthly reporting, or maybe if you want to understand more about what kind of attacks are coming to my environment, the MDR service teams are always there to help you out with that. Okay, so that is the worry-free security services we say. Let's talk about some unique approach. So the two formulation. Now, one is the synergy. In our most of the products, we have our threat intel as well as our AI-based inspection already included, which helps to detect most of the sophisticated attack. So, talking about Sangfor, antivirus, EDR, or firewall, or NDR solution. Now, these are the important aspect which is there. But with that, we also have our AI embedded with our SOC, which is our XDR, and MDR altogether. So, customer can have a one consolidated approach. So this is one of the unique thing, from the silo products to coming up with the native products to integrate everything. Or customer can also manage to have the combinations of both. So it can go with our XDR MDR with the third parties, or it can manage to integrate both together to ensure the comprehensive security approach. Okay, so everything works together under one security ecosystem. It shares the informational things. It shares the intelligence which is detected from the endpoint to the firewalls to some of the other platform from the network layer to ensure that the correlations can be much better way to reduce the false positive. Now let's talk about the delivery models. Definitely, there could be a questions like, okay, so we have customers, how we can approach them. So three important things from the delivery model. Now, if a customer is already keen to have their own platform where they want to ensure that, okay, I want to centralize everything, but I want to manage. I have a team directly and they would be managing the platform. So the self-operated is something which can be very much possible. We can just provide the platform. They don't have to change anything from their current security, the traditional security which they're using as a tools. So firewalls and ADRs, everything gets integrated. Now, some customers would say that, I really don't care about, the securities or what exactly it is. They just want to do the risk transfer. They want to ensure that all the responsibilities should be managed by Sangfor. Like tomorrow, if anything goes wrong, it should be taken care by the expert team. And that's where the fully managed comes in. Fully managed is very much efficient for the small segment customers. So talking about, let's say, a customers with 150 assets or 200 assets, they don't have a expert team. They might have, the IT administrator, network administrator, who is managing the entire, the IT infrastructure. And then talking about the expertise, they cannot do many things. They have a limited time. So for them, full managed again at a very good price, at a very good cost, we can easily propose. While there could be some customer who have certain compliances, who wants to have the incident management from the expert team, as well as due to compliances, they also want to have the platform. Now here, the co-managed comes in where XDR platform can be given to the customer, and with that, we can also manage to have our MDR service. So if you see from the perspective of which organization can fit in, we are covering every aspect or every organization's requirement. So Sangfor fits in perfectly, whether the customer is from the government sector, it is from the specific sector which follows the compliances, or maybe the consumer from the commercial market where they just want to run down the businesses but not much taking care of the security. So MDR as a full manage fix it perfectly. Okay, so every customer needs, we have the flexible delivery models. Talking about this self-operated, we have both the options. Now, from the people who have joined, you might have some government customers. You might have, certain customers who wants to have data residency at their place. So Sangfor XDR on-prem could be the right positioning. With that, Sangfor XDR SaaS, let's say security GPT, can be run down directly from the platform itself. So both the options are available. So if a customer says that, okay, I want to have a SOC platform as a SaaS, then Athena SaaS is a very good option. If they want to have on-prem, still we can provide this similar thing on-prem, and then customer can access both the platforms directly, and they can manage to do all the detections centralized. Okay, some of the benefits of self-operated, again, customers are having full control. They can define their own strategies based on their existing business objectives or the compliances what exactly they have, or maybe they have very strict security policies. They can easily manage to have a full control of it, no data going out anywhere. With that, in the flexible options, the flexible customization, the security strategies tools, can be operated tailored to their business needs. So if they want to integrate maybe their checkpoint firewall and they want to ensure that, okay, if it has been done, it has to be run down through this particular process, they can easily define and customize it based on their requirements. As well as they can build the complete security team, which is
വരാറുണ്ട്.
their
പക്ഷെ
internal team,
സെവൻ
because
ജിക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ
they
കിട്ടിയിട്ടില്ല.
understand more from the
ഓവർകം ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ
internal aspect.
പാർട്ട്ണറായിട്ട് ഓൺബോർഡ് ആവണം
So
സ്പോട്ടിലേക്ക്.
from the
അതിന്
data,
പുള്ളി
what
ഒരാളുടെ
exactly
കേസ്
we
ഒരു
do. So
മെയിൻറ്റെയിൻ
from the
ചെയ്യണം.
data processing rules, we try to ensure that no data goes out anywhere. That means no data is sent to China. We have a complete privacy sheet which ensures that, what kind of data are we collecting? What is the source, destinations, the IP addresses information or the hashes, what kind of things are being generated and how the data processing works. So there is a complete document from the platform also you can try to download, or in case if customer is hesitant and he wants to have that, you can contact us and we can also share you the same document. With this, talking about the fully managed, this is one of the best program. And from this webinar also, our focus is to have more of the MDR, because from the cost perspective, it is very cost effective, as well as we try to cover up not only the Sangfor but as well as the third party devices. So whether customer wants to have a complete solution, Athena MDR fix it perfectly. With that, we have data center and SOC team in UAE, Malaysia, and Indonesia, which can cover up the complete assets. So if customer have Fortinet firewall, we can manage to integrate that with our platform. But the important aspect over here with Athena MDR is we need to have our own EDR solutions. If customer has third party EDR, then it can only work at the detection level. In the next release, which is right now we are running the beta, we have done the integrations for three important third party endpoint products: CloudStrike, Trend Micro, and Microsoft Sentinel. Now, these three right now it is not supported officially, but at the beta testing, we are trying to do the integration. If a customer has Trend Micro with, let's say, 60 assets and he's looking for a MDR service, then you can easily manage to do that. But we haven't done that official announcement. You have to wait till October. Once the complete testing is done, then we can, also sell it to the existing EDR customer of Trend Micro, Microsoft, and the CloudStrike as well. So for now, this is something which is the important aspect, and customer just get the report. So from the fully managed SecOps, it's again pretty simple and straightforward. Okay. So from this full managed, complete operational burdens, 24 by 7 monitoring, and the faster implementation can take place. So most of the implementation just take not more than 5 to 6 days. We can easily integrate the platform, put up the network sensor, and directly manage to do the complete monitoring. And with the co-managed, so co-managed, customer might have on-prem, he might have the XDR on SaaS, but with that, he also have the MDR. So we do the critical assets management. We have seen many of the customers, they want to have their own SOC platform. They want to build up their own security operations, but the expertise, again, they don't have, the skills people. With that, they cannot cover 24 by 7. To do that, they need to have at least, 6 to 9 people to manage that particular aspect. So that becomes always a challenge for the customers. So most of the customers, you can also manage to do the a co-managed model where the MDR team can manage the critical assets 24 by 7. And rest of the process remains the same. The third-party integration, Sangfor devices altogether connecting to the Athena XDR platform, as well as if they want to go with SaaS platform. And then customer have access to both the platforms to see what exactly detections are going on, as well as responding to that part. Okay. So this is where, the entire thing can be managed from self-operated, fully managed, and co-managed. From the co-managed, it is a balanced security, we say. That means if customer have any questions, they don't have to look out for whom we should be reaching out. They can directly talk to the expert team to identify, what could be, the resolution or solutions for this. With that, the expert collaborations between the Sangfor and the customer team, to engage to better down the security and the balance control. They don't have to spend so much, if they have, let's say, 700 assets, but the servers, the critical assets are only 50. They can only just go for the 50 MDR, and the remaining non-server assets, the desktops, laptops, they can easily managed by themselves. Okay. With that, we also have one more scenario. Now, this is again a bit complicated because, this could be from the customer's mindset. This is not non-primary scenario. We need to understand very well before we position. We say it as a lightweight SecOps. So customer who don't accept SaaS, they say that, okay, we don't want to go with SaaS, but also have a limited budget to go for on-prem. Now that becomes a very critical challenge. In that scenario, we can provide Athena NDR. Okay, now it is network detection and response, which can work on the hardware device. We can provide that, but it is again pretty expensive. So virtual could be again fitting in for their compliances requirement, where we can do the Athena firewall, EDR, the STA network sensor altogether integrations, and the third party integration also to the platform. And with that, the Athena NDR can be managed by our MDR team. So if customer wants to have something to be, managed, as in, we can also do that. With that, the the neutral X, which is our cloud threat intel, all the updates and signature updates can be feeded back to the Athena MDR platform. So MDR can also manage this very well. With this, the important question, customer might ask, okay, where is my data stored? Sangfor provides the regional data centers, including UAE, where we have our Athena EDR, XDR, and MDR onboarded in the Equinix data center. We also try to provide customer with a clear document specifying our data center informations and the IP address, but this can be only shared once the contract has been signed or the NDA has been signed between customer and us. We don't collect, any personal information, or something like, the data itself is going. No, we try to ensure that whatever is needed for the security operational, that is only moving it, and it is only going to the regional data center. There is no communication between any of these data center, whether you talk about Germany, UAE, Indonesia, Malaysia. The IMD division is completely separate, and these are again, not talking to each other. So no customer logs are sent out to China, and we ensure that we provide the data processing agreements, which we have seen, the DP agreements for both the XDR and MDR, which can again fulfill the regulatory compliances. Okay. So coming down to the security architecture, will not go in depth, but I just want to showcase you what investment we have done. So from the raw security data, so Sangfor being 25 years, in the security segment, started with the SSL VPN, then firewalls, and then, the other products, we have more than, 300,000 plus, the network devices, online endpoints. With that, we have done heavily investing, investments for our, the security expertise to develop our Gen AI, which is our security GPT, and the hardware investment as well. So this again helps to ensure that the performance is better, as well as implementing of the generative AI, that is our, the cyber attack detections on the So that becomes again very important. Then autopilot in SecOps. So depending upon the customers, the requirements, whether there is on-prem or SaaS, we maintain the secure communication of the AI services and the customers' security platforms. Okay. So this is how we understood what are the challenges in the modern SecOps, what exactly Sangfor provides, how we try to integrate our AI technology to our platforms to manage, and the different bundles of the securities. So from the Sangpo Security GPT, this is what we have integrated and created the detection, anti-phishing, and the operational, and this has been directly integrated with the platform. Now for the anti-phishing, it is optional. If customer wants to do the integration, they can. If they want to skip it, there is no problem. Okay. But for the operational GPT, it is always recommended. Operational GPT can be on-prem, for the on-prem XDR with the operational GPT, or the second option is SaaS with our Sangfor GPT. So it is again, giving you the same capabilities. This is the important aspect because it again ensures that you don't spend hours of time to do the investigation. The operational GPT is your security analyst, the AI based analyst, or you can say a virtual security expert, which can drill down all the information to report it back. With that, the detection GPT again ensures all the detections from 0 day to the some of the AI based attacks very easily. So subscription model again relies with the Athena XDR SaaS. At this stage, on-prem does not include the security GPT. Okay, so that is the important aspect to understand. And for the anti-phishing, again, the anti-phishing is data centered in Malaysia and Indonesia. Very important part. We will be having this in the by end of this year for UAE, but it is again a very good tool for detection of the phishing emails or the AI-based attacks. The AI-based phishings can be easily detected. It is again centrally managed from the Sangfor XDR SaaS, not on the on-premise. So on-premise will not have the anti-phishing because it requires the MS Outlook emails, the Office 365 directly integrating with our security GPT. Okay. So that's it from the platform, from the understanding of the AIs and the security GPT. Let's talk about the MDR experience. So we all understand, the MDRs, what exactly they do: manage, detection, and response. Now, most of the MDRs could be endpoint centric, but we are not endpoint centric. We are covering the every aspect of network and endpoint together. Now, let me just walk you through a real life scenario. Let's say at a 2 a.m., there's an endpoint which has been infected. AI immediately detects a suspicious behavior and threat intel validates that yes, this could be an attack. Now, from our SOC analyst investigations, what exactly it will be done. So after the approval, the containment can be executed. So once the analysis is done, once we try to do the complete analysis, so now the analysis again, the backend engine is again the powered by Sangfor XDR. So whether you have your own XDR platform or if you go with fully managed, the backend platform is again the XDR, but customer won't have the access to it. So we run down through entire thing and then ensure that whatever detections are there, we can easily manage to detect such suspicious behavior, run down through the different platform just to validate that particular part. And once we validate, we try to identify what exactly tools have been used. With that, we also try to see what communication tools have been used. Okay. So with the different alerts, we can identify and validate that with our threat intel platform. So once this is done, and we validate what kind of attacks are being detected with all the attackers IP, victims IP, the informational things directly from the platform, we try to do the correlations of all of these alerts. Once the correlation is done, the customer receives the immediate notification. So we also create a group. So there is a WhatsApp group for every MDR. Dedicated customer success manager assigned to the customer would send them the WhatsApp saying that okay, we have identified something at your end, and wait for the immediate response. Now this is again based on the criticality of the threats. So if a threat is a very very critical, we try to respond to it at the same time. But if the alert is, let's say, high or medium, we try to ensure that we notify customer at first place with recommendation, and once the customer validates it, okay, what actions should be taken and approve those actions, we try to execute it immediately from the backend platform. So if it is a Sangfor native products, we can easily access the policy templates, create the configurations and block it. With that, we try to send the validations with the complete incident report to the customer. This entire scenario is ensure that the immediate action is taken down. If it is a critical threat, less than 10 minutes. If it is a high or medium, it should be not more than 30 minutes. So with this entire scenario, this is something which the backend team works to do the job and provide the proof at actually what we have done that and validate particular things. So this is what happens from the traditional SOC to the faster response, how we try to do it. Okay, so from the MDR perspective, we try to ensure every asset is protected and the response is again immediate. So what is the business value? You get it from the Sangfor. So all the challenges what we have seen, talking about the cyber security, which we have seen that just having technology it's not enough. It's also about the business outcomes, also about the response time. False positives, again the biggest challenge, or improving the compliance posture. Also the operational cost, many of the customers they don't have budget to have their own SOC, or they have the budget with the limited options. So how they can manage to increase the resilience? So this is how we provide the business value with our managed detection response with XDRs, the SOAR to do the auto response with the third parties, or customers who have feeling that okay this could be a high cost, you can easily propose SaaS MDR subscription to them. So total cost of ownership is again very much lower. And then with that we also have the identifying of the security gaps, from the discovering of the assets to prioritizing the risk exposures. We try to do that. So proactive and the compliances, proactive defense and the compliances can also be taken care. Okay, so this is all about the modern SecOps requirement, and we have trend down to provide every customer segment. So whether it's a small, mid, government, we can easily propose our platforms. We have been fitting into all of the customers requirement easily. So if you have customers who are looking for SOC for a compliance perspective, you can position Sangfor XDR or Sangfor co-manage, that is XDR plus MDR together. Or if a customer just want to have the risk transfer, they don't have the security team, they just want to go ahead with the MDR services, then Sangfor also have a fully managed security operation. Okay, so right choose based on the requirements, as well as what fits in perfectly. This is the three important aspect which you should always think of whenever you have the requirement of SOC or the MDR. Okay, so this was the final slide. Thank you everyone for your time today. I hope this session showcase the simplified security, as well as the modern SecOps with AI automations and the expertise what we fulfill through our Sang for modern SecOps. Uh, we are happy now to answer all your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so that we can answer that. So noted with the the webinar series. Okay, there is a question now. Okay, so top competitors are again, when you talk about the SecOps, okay, so where a customer looks out to have just a managed SecOps, the fully managed SecOps. So you might be seeing that competition is from Sophos mostly, because Sophos is something which provides the MDR services. With that, we also have competitions from some of the top vendors, but again from the price perspective or from the market perspective, so for this something which could be only one of the competitions as per our model. But other than that, CloudStrike or Sentinel One, or talking about the customer who have the budget, definitely they can go with the Palo Alto Cortex also. But the important aspect is the business objectives. We need to understand from the business objectives what exactly customer needs. Okay, so let's say customer is going for a SIM. This is again one of the my experience. and they don't have any security analyst. There is a CISO and there is a security engineer, but his expertise is about tools, how to configure a firewall, how to configure EDR, how to manage policies, configurations from the email security. But does that fulfills the requirement of reading the logs? Does that fulfill the requirement of doing the investigation? Can he be available 24 by 7? If he cannot, then what is the use of having a SIM platform? Because the whole idea of this SIM is to understand that, okay, you're centralizing it, correlating it, but end of the day, whatever detections are there, somebody has to validate that and do the response. So this is the questions, you need to ask to the customers that why they need it. If they need SIM for the compliance prospect, that is very good. But from the SOC prospect, they can go with our platform and manage that together. So we integrate the SIM. We have seen, the QRadar, or if it is ArcSight, or it is Splunk, we can also integrate that to our SOC platform. With that, we have the expert team where Sangfor can provide that to manage it as well. Okay. So from the competition, maybe if customer is going for QRadar, is going for some particular SIM, there are a lot of from Alien Wall to, there are a lot of SIM or Wazoo SIM, but still, if they don't have the people, then that could be a challenge for the customer. Okay, third-party firewall and EDR integrations, a very good question. Can customer build their own SOC on Sangfor platform to provide service to the customers? Okay, for right now, we have MDR MSP. Okay, now MDR MSP is the platform where you can provide only fully managed. But let's say if a partner wants to have their own SOC, that means their own XDR platform, and onboard customer on their platform and manage it as a service, we are still working on it because the platform is huge. So if you have seen that from the multiple integrations, we not only do just firewall or EDR integration, we can do WAF integration, load balancer, core switches. If customer wants to integrate threat intel platform, we can also do that. So as the platform is huge, to convert it into a MSP model is a big challenge, but we are still working on it, on what all requirements we can do that to fulfill. Also from the pricing perspective, you see, the XDR is not agent based, it is a platform based. So if a partner, or any of the service providers looking out to invest it, it will be a huge investment. So right now we don't have for the XDR, but for the MDR you can sign the MSP. The best part is, if you have a customer with 100 server asset, you can easily be a Sangfor MDR MSP partner without investing anything. You just have to onboard that customer. The platform is free of cost. You get a dedicated partner CSM. The only thing is you need to assign at least two people from your team who can communicate or manage the initial communications with the customer. The backend MDR is all handled by Sangford. Okay. And then after that 100 server license, in case if you want to onboard more customers, or you already have your customers which you want to convert from EDR to MDR, you can do that. The minimum licensing to onboard is 60 endpoints or 20 servers after that. Okay. But the initial MDR MSP, the budget is of 100 server license, and one server license is 3 endpoints. So vice versa, if you don't have 100 server customer, but if you have, let's say, 300 endpoint customer, you can still manage to have your own branding with your own XYZ company name. You can easily launch your own SecOps, be a MDR MSP partners, start marketing as your own MDR service provider. So Sangpur has given, a very good platform for our partners, the mid segment partners, or maybe if you are a partners with more than 200 or 300 plus customers. So out of that, if 50 customers you onboard to your platform and provide, service from your platform with your own branding name, that will be again a different story. Because when somebody else approaches to your customer, they definitely don't know which product they are using because it has been branded by your name. So you try to engage more, you try to manage the services, and you try to manage the entire security for your customers. And what is the minimum onboarding? 60 endpoint or 20 servers. But initially for the MDR MSP contract, we need to ensure that the 100 server license is what the minimum purchase is. Uh, we'll have, okay, third party firewall in EDR right now. For our XDR platform, we support Palo Alto. Fortinet, Checkpoint, Sonic Wall. Okay. So first, we did the engagement, but it was for XG. But now, as it is a XGS series, we are still managed to doing those integrations. Okay. For the endpoint, we are having the response. So here we are talking about not only just the the integrations to move the informational things, that is the alerts or data injections, but also to the response. So response for the Microsoft, CloudStrike, Sentinel-1, and Palo Alto Cortex. These all integrations are done with the platform, but it is yet to be released. So we will be officially launching that by October. Uh, is Sangfor currently offering a complementary security assessment? Yes. So if you are not aware of that, Sangfor Threat Evaluator tool is up and live. I will share it in the group also, the partner group. Try to use that evaluator tool. It is very easy to use. Within 5 minutes, you run down this tool at your customer. It will automatically identifies the security gaps at the customer end. So let's say if you go to a customer using maybe some third party firewalls and they are saying that, okay, we don't want to replace, you can just say that, okay, can I run this tool? And this tool does not require any technical expertise, by the way. If you are a sales and you don't know anything about the technical configuration, it is pretty simple. You just have to run the tool, but you have to be connected to the customer's network. And there are three different parameters. Now first is basically internet exposure, ransomware. For the ransomware, you need to ensure that agent is deployed at the server where you're testing the ransomware scenario. And then you also have a exposure, credential detections. So these three tools are completely free. It is like, I will share you the document. You can use it for all your customer. Run this tool. Just 5 minutes, you will get a complete comprehensive report on your email. And you can showcase this report to position Sangfor. Okay, so this is like a complete complementary security assessment partner can do by themselves. You don't have to think that, oh, do I need to have a security guy or what tools I should be going for. We have defined that tool and it is a free of cost for our partners only. Are there any limitations integrating third-party products compared to Sangfor? No, there is no such limitations, in terms of third-party integration for data injections. But in terms of doing the auto response, yes, because most of these security products does not provide you the full access. There are very limited, let's say, kill the process, quarantine the application, block the IP, block the domain, move it in the containment zone. So these are some of the things. But from the perspective of, visibility, we provide you two products, which is Sangfor Athena STA, mandatory. Mandatory means you cannot remove that whenever you're proposing. So Sangfor Athena STA provides us the complete mirror traffic from the core switch directly to the platform. So this quality of logs is very important for us to ensure that we don't miss out at any particular point. If I still rely just on the third parties to provide me the alerts, the quality of logs would be very bad. We never know what kind of configuration is done at the firewall. Maybe there is a any port at the bottom, every traffic is going, there is no detections happening, so I can miss on that particular thing. So that's where we ensure that not only just the firewall integration, we try to manage to put our Athena STA sensor, and it is a mandatory component whether you go for MDR or XDR. Okay. All right, guys. It was a very truthful session. I will be adding up the threat evaluator. Please use that tool, run down to your platform and see and give us the feedback on the WhatsApp. Or if you want to connect with me one to one, you can connect with me and we will provide you the complete information on how to use that tool. Okay. So we are almost reaching to our time, 3 minutes. But if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach to my email address. If you have any opportunities, or if you are looking out to have, any kind of, the product enhancement or product approach, or discussing about MDR MSP program onto your platform, we can also design that for you. Okay. So reach me out. I'm your product manager and I'm here to help you out on how I can efficiently manage to increase more business for you from the Sangfor aspect. So signing off for today now. Thank you so much everyone for this, and we will wait for our next series of webinar. All right. Take care everyone. Thank you so much. Signing off now.